Service District board members to resign. There had been just some brief discussion about this before, and I have drafted a draft letter. Do you each have a copy of that?
Yeah.
And there's in paragraph 2, I added one word which is omitted, where it says the Pocahontas County Commission, which appointed you, has changed, and it should be the present commission believes that the most direct and expedient way to get fresh thinking into this project is to have new PSD members as well. Admittedly, the project is about engineering and costs, but so long overlooked is the fact that the project is also about public perception. The point of this letter is to acknowledge that the Public Service District board members have worked hard and long, and this is no way a comment or grading of their work necessarily, but is rather a way to try to, again, get the project with a different perspective and to move forward. And it is, of course, a request because the County Commission has no authority to make any board member resign other than through legal proceedings for cause. And secondly, our only effect on the board over time is to reappoint board members or with new members as their terms would expire. And the first term to expire is not until June of this year, and that's only one member. So it was my thinking that the commission would consider making such a request and to see what the PSD members' response would be to a formal request.
Are any of the PSD members coming?
I haven't heard from anyone. They're aware of this because Cindy called me.
Yeah. I had heard from 2, so that's why I wasn't sure. One was second hand.
So,
she called me last week and said,
they've got that meeting tonight. Is it? That's what they.
Yeah, that's probably why it's on the agenda.
Is that what they're supposed to discuss tonight?
What meeting?
They have a special meeting tonight.
Special meeting.
So to put the matter formally before the County Commission, I move that the Commission consider adopting this letter and authorizing it to be sent to the Public Service District. And I would ask for a second and then discussion.
I certainly have some thoughts to share, so I'll second that to discuss. I think acknowledging their work on other projects in particular is important. Of course, the controversial sewer project is by far the largest thing they've ever undertaken, but for as long as we know, they've been running Durban water, and actually are talking about running Durban sewer as well. I'm already on record as supporting their activities to find a way to renovate or fix the Durban water problem. That's about a $590K project, and at the time, when I started to learn about that project, only $60K of that was in grant money, so it was going to be a pretty big hit to the ratepayers in Durban. But now, Randy Watson from Thrasher Engineering, at the last PSD meeting, which I was at too, thinks he found a way to get at least 50-50 grant loan for that project, and the PSD authorized him to do that, and maybe even better than that. So at the end of the day, my hope is that the Durban Water Project will come to fruition with a plan and a funding mechanism that doesn't really impact the ratepayers hardly at all. I imagine there will be some increase, but hopefully it's something that can be citizens of Durban can accept. So that's good work, and we need to acknowledge that. But that is just a $590K project in perspective. The proposed Snowshoe Slady Fork Regional project is a minimum of $25 million. So rough math, that's a project which is 50 times at least more expensive, and more of a funding concern than the Durban water and the Durban sewer. And my thinking continues to be that we do need new ideas and new leadership, particularly with respect to the big project. We've already taken action, contacted the IJDC to request that they halt funding for this project. That has yet to be decided. We have contacted Region 4 Planning and Development, who is the administrator of the funds given by IJDC at this time, and have formally requested that they finish out the administration of the $2.5 million, but then accept no further administration tasks for the funding for this project unless and until the Commission says otherwise. So we've taken a couple big actions to express our position on this controversial project. That is one part of the Public Service District's responsibilities, but it is the lion's share of their responsibilities at this time. So I think that in step with the actions we've taken so far, that a formal request for new leadership at the PSD membership itself is in line with what we're thinking.
Any further discussion? Rita? I invite your...
I've appointed these people, and I still support the actions that they're moving. They've tried to change to accommodate the requests from the public and from this commission. And as we heard in our last meeting, simply wanting to replace people, and that if the same idea came back from different people, you guys would support it, but because it's coming from them, you won't. I don't agree with that kind of philosophy. I think a project should stand on its merits and shouldn't be based on the people. I mean, if we never worked people we didn't like, a lot of us would never work. And I mean, you just have to deal with it. Business is business and life is life, and sometimes you have to work with people you don't like. And just because we don't like them, I don't feel is a need to ask for the resignation. So I can't support that action. There's a way to do that. I don't agree with some of the other letters that have been written. The letter to the IJDC Council does not cancel just funding for this project. It cancels all funding to the PSD, and it very clearly states in there, in your letters, that you feel like they've done wrong. And if you feel like they've done wrong that strongly, then that sounds to me like cause, and you should try to prove it. That's how you do this, not, by sitting here and saying with one letter that you acknowledge their good work, and then turning around to the main funder of water and sewer systems and telling them that you feel like they failed in their job and didn't do their jobs. That's contradictory to me. And so I can't support this.
Well, first...
Rita has a point as to the seeming contradiction, but one item we have on our agenda is to clarify the letter that we originally wrote to IJDC. In that original letter, it was the intent to express, at least from my point of view, to ask that the IJDC withhold funding for this project and not for other projects that the Public Service District would be involved with. But it was clear, and Rita pointed out very correctly, that the wording of the letter seemed very much like we said we can't